Coming up.
Good, keep going, stabilize. Don't forget to breathe.
Martin Gelbspan challenges my coordination and core strength. But don't worry, he'll break it down step by step for your skill level. Then, we mix it up at a juice bar that makes delicious replacements for vitamins. Aniva takes the reins on Equine Therapy, we answer your COVID-related tax questions, and eat tacos for a good cause today on SoFlo Health. Hello and welcome to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie and happy Easter. Today we start our episode on the river in Fort Lauderdale and we're about to head over to Bodega. Hunter, why would you take us to a taco place to start SoFlo Health? Well, that's because the owner, Jared Galbut, is hosting events to support Dolphins Challenge Cancer. That's a virtual event this year, and it's an event that's every year, but it's a 5K, it's a bicycle ride, and all of the proceeds go to the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center to support cancer research so we can finally beat it, hopefully one day. So let's go meet Jared and talk more about it. Hey there, Jared, how are you?
Doing great, thanks for coming by.
It's good to see you. Thanks for having us here at Bodega. Before we begin our conversation here, we're nice and socially distant, so let's go ahead and take our masks off for the time being. And before we get into the Dolphins Cancer Challenge, which is why we're here, tell me about Bodega.
Sure, so Bodega started in Miami Beach about 7 years ago. My partner and I, Keith Menon, we wanted to do something a little bit different in Miami Beach. And we thought in this Alton Road, kind of West Avenue neighborhood, that we wanted to do a Mexican concept with a bar in the back and something unique with an authentic kind of street food taqueria in the front. And here we are 7 years later today, a very successful concept and expanding as we speak.
Yes, and we're in Fort Lauderdale, so that's part of the expansion. And here on SoFlo Health, we love tacos because you can make them whatever you want, and that can make them as healthy as you like or as unhealthy as you like. So tell me about the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. You're bringing the community together. Well, the Dolphins are also bringing the community together every year in honor of Jim Mandich. But tell me about your involvement.
So my involvement started about 5 years ago. I was invited by some of the board members on the Dolphins Cancer Challenge, and they convinced me to do the 100-mile ride, which is my first 100-mile ride that I've done. So it's quite an interesting experience. It really opened my eyes to what a wonderful organization that DCC is. Finally, this year, I was very fortunate enough that they had asked me to join the board and to get even more involved with our company. And so now we have a team with Men in Hospitality and Bodega.
Right.
And we have over 20 people, a part of the team now, going to be growing this week to 30 and hope to continue that trend in the years to come.
And you also have some meetups happening. Tell me about those.
We did a prep ride for the DCC. And when we were kind of trying to figure out the plan of where we were going to do this ride, we thought it'd be pretty cool to call it the Bodega Ride and do it from our Bodega South Beach location to our Bodega Fort Lauderdale location and back. It was roughly just around 60 miles. It raised awareness and also brought a lot of new people to get to experience the organization firsthand.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to hopefully do a few more of those next year and continue bringing new people to the organization to help raise money.
Tell us a few tips for those that want to participate in the walk, the ride, whatever. What can they do to stay healthy in the process?
You don't necessarily have to do the 100-mile ride. We have a 5K walk and run. We have a 15-mile bike ride, a 35-mile bike ride, a 50-mile bike ride, and the 100. I definitely suggest if you're going to be doing the 50 or the 100 to practice a little bit and start inching your way up slowly to get to those miles. And in the meantime, definitely watch your diet a little bit. I would maybe stop the cocktails on the weekend a few weeks up, but definitely start watching yourself and taking care of yourself, especially up to these rides. And really, overall, you should be, but especially these rides. And I think you do great. Make sure you hydrate and have a good prep meal before.
Make sure you stick around because Jared's going to be hanging out with us throughout the episode and talking to us more about DCC. But first, let's check in with the chef because I hear the food's pretty good here.
It's very good. You're about to have some of the best tacos in South Florida.
One of our favorites is a kale bowl that we use. I love using kale because it's so green and it's so rich and it's so good for you. It's so high in fiber. So we make a very a Mexican salad, although I doubt that you would find a kale salad made in Mexico, with wonderful toppings that we all do ourselves. Like we pickle our own onions and tomate, fresh avocado. So everything has homemade integrity, which is really the best way to eat. We source our tortilla, which is really the most important thing in a taqueria. We source that locally, and that is made from whole grain, fresh corn, made without preservatives. It's full of fiber, gluten-free, and like no other tortilla I've ever had.
We have a couple great options for you here. If you are dining at Bodega and you would maybe like something a little bit on the lighter side of things.
Sure.
So our Kale Bowl is a lot of our kind of mainstay vegetables and beans that we have in a lot of the tacos, but we put it in a bowl format, a little bit lighter. And then we have some tacos that are on the lighter side as well. We have here our vegan taco, which is made with an oomph product, so a meat alternative. Over here we have our pescado taco, which is made with a grilled mahi. Part of our DCC initiative is that when you do come to Bodega, if you donate $10 or more, we actually take a water bottle and we fill it up with our frozen margaritas. So after the race, if you want to come by, this is a great way to rehydrate.
I gotta say, that's one darn good taco.
Thanks.
And it's light, it's easy to digest, so that you can get to your 100-mile ride, or in my case, I think I'm just gonna go for a walk after this. Jared, thank you so much for spending some time with us to share what you're doing with the DCC, for sharing your delicious food here at Bodega.
Thank you, and appreciate you guys coming by and raising awareness for such a great cause.
Definitely. Well, stick around for some more SoFlo Health. Jared will join us for a brief walk around Fort Lauderdale. We'll try some more delicious food here at Bodega. We'll head to Juicery Rx so you can fuel up on some good stuff. And Martin Gelbspan has the front kick through for you, as we promised last week. It's all coming up right here on SoFlo Health.
Health File, sponsored by Broward Health, where our passion is caring for you.
The symptoms at the time of heart attack are almost the same for men as for women. Women, the symptoms may be different. Some patients will complain of nausea, belching. The pain sometimes goes to the jaw or to the neck.
It was a Friday night, and when I went to bed, I started feeling like an achy fullness up here. I called Dr. Zachariah and told him, and he said, "You got to go to the emergency room right now." There was an enzyme that was at an 8. And I was like, "Is that bad?" And he goes, "Well, it's supposed to be more like 0.01, and you're an 8.
We noticed that her main artery on the left side was completely blocked, and we passed the wire, we passed the balloon, opened it, placed a stent in there, and at the end of the procedure, the artery was 100% open.
I feel like Dr. Zachariah saved my life. I'm lucky to be here.
For more information, visit browardhealth.org.
Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie. We are joined by Jared Galbut, owner of Bodega, and he's talking to us today about his participation in the Dolphins Challenge Cancer and how you can be a part of it. So, Jared, how can people be a part of the mission if they'd like to be?
So if you haven't already joined the event, we offer this year, it's a little bit unique that you can join virtually. So by April 4th, if you register, you go to dolphinschallengecancer.com and register for the virtual, and you can either do the run or walk, or you can also do one of the bike rides.
Yep, and he's hosting meetups to practice for the bike ride at Bodega. That's what we were talking about earlier in the show, in case you're just joining us. And now we're going for a little walk to work off some food out here in beautiful, sunny Fort Lauderdale. Jared, I know you have a lot to get to, so I'm going to leave you, and we're going to have some more SoFlo Health going on over here, but thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for coming by.
Definitely. Get you a fist bump. I'll see you later.
You got it.
All right. I'm in my hometown of Weston, and it's post-workout time, so you know what that means. I need to fuel my body. That's why I'm here at Juicery Rx. Let's go meet Maka.
So right now I'm making the Alpha Bowl. That is our best-selling acai bowl. I already made the base. It's with almond milk, acai, and banana. And I'm gonna top it with granola, banana, coconuts, strawberries, blueberries. So I just put some goji berries, which are amazing antioxidants, and some hemp seeds, chia seeds, and I'm about to top it with raw honey. All right, so right now I'm gonna make the Blue Magic smoothie. This is one of our best-selling smoothies, and it's my personal favorite. What it has is almond butter, almond milk, mango, banana, and dates. Blue Magic, which is what gives it the interesting color, is an algae, and it's a really good anti-inflammatory. So now I'm gonna put almond slices, goji berries, and chia seeds. All right, let's go take this over Hunter.
Now tell me about Juicery Rx. What are you guys all about?
So Juicery Rx blends the concept of plant medicine and good tasting food. Everything that we have is organic, gluten-free, and dairy-free. So it's really good, clean food that you can trust, and it tastes amazing. How's that?
When she says it tastes amazing, that's what it tastes like. So when you say plant medicine and blending all the flavors, making it taste good, why is it important to have plant medicine? How is that helping us?
We really do believe in the concept of every meal that you get is either feeding disease or it's preventing disease.
Right.
And we sell all of our products based on the benefits that they provide.
Right.
So the antioxidant benefits of the acai, the anti-inflammatory, and the Blue Magic, and the digestive and immune supporting benefits of the ginger shot.
Right. What should I expect out of the Blue Magic?
So the Blue Magic is like a really creamy, tropical, but sweet smoothie. So yeah, it's
Creamy,
really good.
tropical. Here I go.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you like that?
I didn't taste anything like I thought it was, but it tastes great. It's very creamy. And what makes it so blue?
So what makes it blue is actually an algae, the Blue Magic. Have you heard of spirulina before?
I have, yes.
Okay, so it's like an extract derived from spirulina.
Wow.
And it's very blue. Like when you look at it, if you look at it by itself and you smell it, it really doesn't smell good at all. But when you blend it with the smoothie, it's perfectly masked. And
Well, you fooled me because that certainly tastes great and it smells pretty fresh as well.
yeah, it's really good.
Well, Maka, thank you so much.
For sure,
We've got
thank
some
you.
customers waiting over there, so I'll let you get to them.
Awesome, sounds good. Thank
All right.
you.
Yep. How tasty did those look? Well, I can tell you from experience, they were delicious and they're good for you too. Now it's time to turn it up a little bit and get some movement in with Martin Gelbspan. Last week, he showed you how to do the side kick through. This week, he challenges me a bit with the front kick through.
We're gonna bring our feet a little bit further back than we did for the beast hold. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the right foot right next to the right hand.
Okay.
We're gonna bring it here. Next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna bring that right hand up and we're gonna kick the left leg through. Now we're gonna bring it back, place the hand down, kick back, and go back. Bring the left one forward, pick up, reach, come back, and then take a break.
Oh boy, that is significantly more
It's a lot tougher.
than last week.
You need a lot more mobility and
Yes.
a lot more strength to be able to hold that up.
So what is that building?
You're working on mobility, working a lot of stability through your core, your shoulders, your triceps, and you're working on flexibility as well. And
Yeah.
it's a little bit of cardio if you start moving.
We get asked all the time, what the heck does opening my hips up mean? What's mobility?
Well, it's gonna give you a little bit more comfort to do everyday activities, right? Daily
Right.
activities, working out, getting up from a chair, getting out of your car. You know when you get out of your car, you open
Yeah.
up your hips. This stuff is gonna help with just daily things. So even for older people, this is
Right.
great stuff. The next one that we're gonna do is definitely a lot more advanced.
Yeah.
So instead of coming back to that loaded beast after you do the first front kick through, we're gonna continue going. It looks a little bit like breakdancing.
Okay.
And we're gonna come forward. Now to go to the other side, you have to use our upper body and come here.
Right,
So
right.
do the first one, hold it for a second,
Here.
and now you're gonna come back to the left. There we
Oh,
go.
too far.
There we go. And try to jump forward, good.
Oh,
So that is a lot of cardio
it is.
while you're working on stability, mobility, flexibility.
Yeah, so just like you at home, I'm learning. Do we have something else?
No, that's it for that.
Good.
What we can do, if you want.
See ya.
No, come back. What we can do is we can mix what we did last week
Sure.
with this week
Okay.
and maybe add something else. We're gonna jump forward,
Okay.
kick through. We're gonna place this hand and we're gonna kick out.
Oh boy.
Once we come here, we turn and we do that side kick through. And we can reset here. Load the hips back. Good. Give me that scorpion, reach. Yeah, put it down and now you do a side kick through too. There we go.
Whew. Oh, okay, so you can actually learn something. Martin, show us how this is done.
Front kick through, to that scorpion, to the side kick through. Then we could do, it's called the crab reach, and do a little jump, and you start back in that same spot.
Don't worry, on a future episode of SoFlo Health,
We'll get there.
we'll show you exactly how he did that. But for today, let's just learn the front kick through. Martin, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
He kicked through me today. So I'm gonna sit here, take a breather, and I'll see you in a bit. Whoa, hold your horses. Aniva takes us to a horse therapy center, and Ricky here answers all of your COVID-related tax questions after the break. You know, I see why they call this river walk, because you're quite literally walking along the river, and I'm joined by some pretty nice boats as well. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and earlier on in the show, we talked to Jared Galbett, who is taking part in the Dolphins Challenge Cancer, which is a 5K walk, or in his case, a 100-mile bike ride to support those in need. Thank you to the Dolphins organization, to Jared for joining us, and now I send you over to Aniva for some hippo therapy. Sadly, there are no hippos, but happily, there are horses.
Life may throw a curveball at us from time to time, but no physical, emotional, nor cognitive need should stop us from having the quality of life that we all need. Now there's a way to take care of that, but with the help of a special friend. Let's go, Domino. Hi, my name is Damon for SoFlo Health, and we are here at Bit by Bit, 6 feet apart, so we can go ahead and take our masks off. I'm here with Susan and Domino, the star of our show, to talk about therapeutic riding. Now, Susan, I know therapeutic riding can go a number of different ways and it has a lot of health benefits. Can you explain to us what it can do for one's well-being?
Sure. A lot of different things with therapeutic riding that come under that umbrella. And what we do here at Bit by Bit is actually physical, occupational, and speech therapy, but we use the horses as part of our treatment. The horse's movement specifically helps with whatever goals the therapist is working on. For example, a child with cerebral palsy with tight legs will use the horse's movement, the warmth of the horse, to stretch those legs. With a child with autism, we'll use that rhythmical, wonderful movement and sensory input to help the child become more organized so they can complete tasks.
Now, I saw that Domino was like rubbing on you, during the interview. Does little things like that, benefit, one's well-being as well?
Sure. There's an emotional bond between the child and the horse. Having therapy in a setting like this, as opposed to a clinical therapy room, is obviously much better. And the child becomes so much more motivated to complete their task and to do their therapy, because what could be more fun than doing your therapy on the back of a horse?
Of course. Oh, look at that. You agree, right, Domino? What is the difference between equine therapy and hippotherapy?
So equine therapy, or sometimes called adaptive riding or therapeutic riding, is basically a riding lesson for somebody with special needs.
Do you guys customize based on a person's need, a combination of patterns and speed?
The therapist does a complete evaluation, and based on an evaluation we come up with goals, and from those goals we decide how we're going to incorporate the horse's movement to help with those goals. The therapist during the session will modify the type of movement, a fast movement, a slow movement, maybe turns. So there's a lot of variability. It's a very skilled intervention.
It seems like horses are a very powerful tool in such therapies. Why would you say they are a powerful tool?
With therapy, with PT, OT, and speech, there is a ton of research that backs up our claims of incredible improvements in strength, balance, activities of daily living, ambulation, when we add the tool of using the horse during therapy sessions.
How would you say the movement of the horse combined with the environment, lead to a functional change?
When you add the horse's movement, which is rhythmical, and a lot of sensory input, which is the feel of the horse, the outside temperature, the sun, the smells around the barn, you get an increase in speech output. If you were seeking therapy, understand that it's a very controlled environment. Our therapists are very trained in getting you comfortable.
Now, I know I'm not a child, but I would love to give this a shot. So if you don't mind, and Domino doesn't mind taking me under your wings and showing me how this is done, I'd be forever grateful.
Sure, absolutely.
So with a little bit of help and guidance from Susan and Domino, I was able to work on a few exercises to help strengthen my core muscles. But for me personally, the best part in all this is going for that joyride. With some help, of course.
I'm sure nightlifers and partygoers are looking forward to the day where they can head back to places like the Wharf without a mask and can party on and have some fun. In fact, we're all looking forward to COVID being in the rearview mirror. However, until then, there's a lot to think about, including your taxes. So we reached out to a tax expert to answer some of your COVID-related tax questions. Taxes. Not the most exciting subject, we know. However, it's an important subject and you probably have a lot of questions about them. Fortunately, we have Ricky here from Tax File, and thank you so much for being here with us today. We're gonna take our masks off because we're outside, it's a beautiful day, we're socially distant. What does the average person need to know? What's like the number one piece of advice you give somebody?
Do I qualify for stimulus? Everyone wants to know about that right now, right? So,
sure.
You know, the rule of thumb is, hey, if you're married, filing joint, and you made less than $160,000 jointly in your household, you qualify for it. If you make over, you don't get a dime. It's not like there's a phase out or anything like that. Right? So that's a good rule of thumb. If you're single, $80,000.
Now, how does a stimulus affect your taxes?
It affects your taxes in the fact that it's not taxed.
Okay.
Okay, you know, the second most frequent question would be about unemployment benefits, because a lot of people don't know that unemployment benefits are taxable if you applied for unemployment, right? There's two, you got income from two sources, the state and the federal government. The state check, okay, here in Florida, you're not filing any income taxes on it, right? So it's, you know, it's not taxable income, okay? But it is taxable income at the federal level, along with your federal check.
Got it.
I'm sure, as you know, with this stimulus that we just spoke about, it was part of a broader package, the American Rescue Plan. There was a section in there talking about unemployment, and there's going to be some relief for the unemployed, because they're like, hey, I'm unemployed, you're giving me money, and you're taxing me on it, right? That's kind of ridiculous. And if you live in New York, California, for example, you're taxing me twice. If the first $10,200, okay, it's going to be taxed. That could be confusing because at the state level, you're still taxed on it. So it depends.
Right, and you've created a service actually that helps people find what they're looking for when it comes to filing their taxes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so our startup's called Tax File, and essentially what it is, it's like a digital CPA firm, right? But it's like Uber for CPAs, okay?
Right.
And you're connected to a CPA, and they'll help you with everything. You know, if you ask them any question you want, there's chat, upload your documents, and they'll handle your entire tax position for you, business and individual.
Ricky, thank you so much for being here with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and it's been a beautiful day here in Fort Lauderdale. We've reached the end of the show. We hope you learned something, maybe got some ideas on some healthy food that you can eat, and maybe participate in something fun like the Dolphins Challenge Cancer for a good cause. As always, you can watch previous episodes of SoFlo Health on SoFloHealth.com, and you can follow us using @SoFloHealth to share with us what you're doing to stay healthy. And until next week, it is goodbye and good health. Next week on SoFlo Health, it's our 3-year anniversary. Take a look back with us as we share some of our favorite moments and features from the last 150 episodes. From indoor skydiving to working out with Chef Michelle Bernstein, it's all next week. We'll see you then.